Robert De Niro's status among the greatest actors who have ever lived was in no small part due to his unmatched talent in the gangster genre. While De Niro's career will forever be defined by his acclaimed collaborations with Martin Scorsese, he's also portrayed gangsters for the likes of all-time great directors such as Michael Mann, Sergio Leone, and Quentin Tarantino. Although it must be admitted that some roles were far more acclaimed than others, it's always exciting to see De Niro's name on the cast list for a gangster or crime movie. Many of the best De Niro films were in the gangster genre, as his tough guy persona was able to seamlessly capture the menace and fear needed to portray cunning crooks and murderous mobsters. While De Niro's greatest gangster roles include some of the greatest movies of all time, he's also had a few unfortunate duds across his more than 60 years in the film industry. However, even in his failures, De Niro was always endlessly watchable as his presence elevated even the most lackluster gangster release. 15. Robert Dragna. The Bag Man, 2014. Robert De Niro in The Bag Man, 2014. Nobody can deny there are a few clunkers in Robert De Niro's late career filmography, with The Bag Man being a disappointing addition to the actor's long list of gangster roles. As Robert Dragna, De Niro played an elderly gangster who hires John Cusack to pick up a mysterious bag for him and not look at what's inside, only for Cusack's character to end up facing off against a litany of deranged characters, all with a special interest in the bag. As a tedious Tarantino ripoff made a few decades too late, even De Niro superfans may want to skip The Bag Man. Fred Blake, Giovanni Manzoni. The Family, 2013. Robert De Niro as Fred Blake, Giovanni Manzoni in The Family, 2013. While Martin Scorsese may have served as an executive producer on The Family, this crime story had none of the appeal of the director's acclaimed collaborations with De Niro. Telling the story of the mafia boss Giovanni Manzoni being forced to take up a new identity as Fred Blake when he and his family go into witness protection, this overly familiar setup did not work well as either a crime movie or a comedy. Despite a great cast including De Niro, Michelle Pfeiffer, and Tommy Lee Jones, The Family was a derivative and forgettable release that was panned by critics. Mario Trantino. The Gang That Couldn't Shoot Straight, 1971. Robert De Niro shrugging in The Gang That Couldn't Shoot Straight. Robert De Niro starred in a few gangster films before rising to fame through his work with Martin Scorsese, and movies like The Gang That Couldn't Shoot Straight make it clear just how much he improved after teaming up with the legendary director. While it's fascinating to see a fresh-faced De Niro play the budding thief Mario Trantino, this forgettable James Goldstone film had little to offer and was a total mess of a crime comedy. Seeing De Niro act alongside Lee Taylor-Young was a highlight, but everything else was a bust. Lloyd Barker. Bloody Mama, 1970. Robert De Niro in Bloody Mama. Inspired by the real-life story of Ma Barker, Bloody Mama starred Shelley Winters as a mentally disturbed mother who encouraged the criminality of her 4 adult sons in rural Arkansas during the Depression. With Robert De Niro as the loyal, drug-addicted son Lloyd, Bloody Mama was one of the actor's first major roles, and although it does not quite reach the heights of his later greatness, it was an interesting performance in a deeply fascinating crime movie. At just 26 years old at the time, Bloody Mama was the first hint toward De Niro's future as a gangster movie legend.